Everybody, welcome on in. Week 12 is upon us. The end of the season is upon us. We're starting to look at playoff teams now and say, yeah, we can kind of pencil them in pen. So we'll get to those in a little bit. We'll get to the usual, man. We always do. Who won the weekend? That's always fun to do. We do the playoff eliminator. Sorry for some of y'all that get booted from the college football playoffs. Brent will have his numbers, like always, all the fun numbers of the weekend. But first, we're going to talk about refs. And we don't do this often because you can talk about it every time, probably every week. We've seen the SEC refs. We've seen them stink consistently, and that's been a talking point. I think the biggest thing that's driving me nuts is I'm tired of the replays. So I have a proposal, okay? Like, if we're going to do the replays, the booths are supposed to watch the replays every single play. So in case it's replayed, they're ready to rock and roll. So I would love, we have that little stick that the refs hold on the sidelines if you've ever been to a game that kind of counts you down of when the game is going to come back. I propose that we have a shot clock. We have a ref clock. So whenever we get to the point where we go review, so the ref has time to communicate with the other refs in the headset. Okay, we're going to do a review. They're going to walk to the middle of the field. He's going to tell you the previous play is under review. He's going to walk all the way to the edge of the field. This is a buffer that sets it up, right? So now we buffer, we go all the way to the sideline. We put our head in the little machine for no reason because he's not reviewing anything. Like, he's told what to do. So he's not looking at the replay on the sideline going, yeah, this is what we're going to do. Everybody else, depending on what league you're in, is looking at it back at the office. They tell him what to look at, or they tell him what the call is. And they confirm it, and then they go on the field. Just give me a shot clock. Like, just give me a 20-second shot clock. As soon as he looks into the thing, let's get this thing cleaned up, man. Let's make it faster. LSU game, I think it was 3 out of 4 plays. We reviewed a catch, a slide, a catch, and it literally was like review. And it takes too long, and I know y'all get sick of it too. And the ACC is cool because we get to hear all the dialogue, but I need to just trim the dialogue. Let's just get that trimmed. So that's my little rant before we get into the top 12. It's just annoying to watch. I'd love to see it handled in some way, shape, or form. All right, top 12. This is not a difficult exercise in the beginning. So we do have the Ohio State Buckeyes at number 1. Here's another thing we've been talking about. We've been talking about common opponents. We've been talking about Illinois as a common opponent with Ohio State, as a common opponent with Indiana. Now you have Penn State, another common opponent. And Penn State obviously got handled by Ohio State way better than that. Ohio State, because of the less injuries, Carnell Tate's still hurt, but Indiana injuries at guard, injuries at tackle, the way they're playing with Surratt, the way they're playing, they didn't look like the number 1 team in the country. They look banged up. Ohio State, to me, moves to number 1. I think you could debate whether A&M's at 2. You could debate maybe if you wanted to whether A&M's at 1. They got 3 road wins against top 25 teams, which that's the hardest thing to do in all of college football to me. But I'm going Indiana 2 still. I'm keeping A&M 3. There's no drama at 4. Alabama's at 4. No drama at 5. Georgia continues to be at 5. Again, the head-to-head with Bama over Georgia. Georgia over Ole Miss next. At 6, they played Citadel, nothing to write home about. I think they had the shutout, which is pretty good. And then you go Texas Tech to me. To me, the next team is the Red Raiders. Like, absolute beatdown. Up 24 in the fourth quarter with BYU. I mean, just absolutely handled business. It was very fun, very impressive to watch. Texas Tech, to me, deserved to be at 7. This is the one I didn't know about, honestly, if I wanted to go Oregon or Notre Dame. I went with Notre Dame at 8. If you went with Oregon at 8, so be it. Some people I saw the AP actually had Notre Dame or Oregon above Ole Miss, so they had them a lot higher. Oregon got their best win of the season. It wasn't pretty by any stretch of the imagination, but neither was the weather. But the ground and pound was impressive, and Dante Moore making a play late was impressive. And now is when it really gets weird. Like, Brent, jump in here because I literally have, okay. You have to, first of all, here's how I did it, Brent. So I want you to kind of understand the thought process of what I did. Okay. So I grabbed 12. And I'm done with group of fives. I'm just going to play roulette every week, and I'm just going to spin them in a jar and pick one out. So North Texas, congratulations, you win the lottery today. So you get to be at 12. So we're just going to keep throwing people up there at 12. So
I would have went USF, but
that's fine. I don't care. Yeah, don't care. I'm fine. We can debate that. But I was like, we're going to keep playing that game until the season ends, until they play each other probably. All right. So now I got Oregon at 9. You probably feel pretty good about the top 9, right? Like there's not much to debate there. And would you have anybody else different at that point? I mean, even if you shuffled them around, the top 9 are the top 9 to me. So now
I think that's safe to say, yes.
Okay. So now I had to go to 12. So now I took out North Texas. So now I have 10 and 11. Okay. Georgia Tech has to be in this playoff. They have to be. The ACC has to have a team. So I put Georgia Tech at 11. So now I have to put a team at Texas. And so here's what I was debating between. Texas. Well, I just screwed that up. Now I have to put a team at 10. Debating between Texas, Oklahoma, BYU, Utah, Vandy. Like, to me, those are the teams that are next in the hopper. Well, what are you most impressed with what you've seen? What are you hanging your hat on? Honestly, all of them have flawed resumes. Like, if you want to go to Utah, if you looked at Utah last week, like Utah beat Cincinnati and Arizona State. That's by far their best 2 wins. But to have them where they were the committee definitely had a lot of respect for them because they got destroyed by Texas Tech. Well, BYU jumped in the conversation. They got destroyed, dismantled by Texas Tech. So who you putting out of those in there? Because OU obviously lost to Texas head-to-head. Texas is in there. I mean, it's just it's a very interesting debate of them. And then I look at Vandy. Vandy very much with what they've done and who they've beaten deserves to be in the conversation as well because they've lost to good teams.
It's a little different than basketball, because with the men's basketball tournament, you were always who got left out. Who were the ones that were on the bubble that got in, that sort of thing. But we're talking about the teams that were 64th and, much further down the road. But the conversation still right now almost feels like that because you've got so many teams with just
so many
very similar, and you can point to, hey, well, this one win versus that one win, this one loss versus that one loss. I flip a coin like you did with the group of 5 with 10, 11, or at least 10.
10,
flip a coin. I'm fine with whatever. Yes.
Yeah, and I think you could argue Texas, like they're on a 4-game win streak. There's not a lot of meat on the bone. I mean, there's not a lot of things you can point to that's elite. But the out-of-conference loss is still to the number 1 team in the country by 7 points. They're the only team that played them remotely competitive. And it ain't like Arch was playing his best football at that point. He was by far playing his worst football. So I think you go and you say, fine, Texas is at 10 for that component, and you beat Oklahoma, who's right behind them.
That's the key is they beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
If they hadn't, then this would be a moot discussion. But in terms of Texas, you get to find out very quickly whether that is real or not, because Athens this week, A&M,
at number 5.
A&M coming up soon. To me, they win one. If they win one of those games, I think and obviously I think Arkansas was the other one they have. They win 2 out of those 3 games. I think they're going to be in the college football playoff. Mainly,
I think if they win 2 out of the 3, 1 out of the 2 against the big ones.
Yes. Mainly because of the others beating themselves, and just the resumes won't look very good at the end. Yes.
And if that happened, that would be our first 3-loss team to enter the college football playoff.
Miami, though, the Miami's one that's going to be such an interesting case because I don't think there's any shot they're in the ACC championship game. Like
no.
10-2 with no ACC championship game is their ceiling, and obviously the Florida win looks like not much of anything. USF, they might say, "Hey, look, we beat another playoff team." If USF
badly
and destroyed them, and then beat Notre Dame early. Yes, it was early, but you still beat them. You still played on a field and beat them. So,
well, you still got a top 10 win. So Miami's just got to creep up there and continue. So final result: Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, A&M 3, Alabama 4, Georgia 5, Ole Miss 6, Texas Tech 7, Notre Dame 8, Oregon 9, Texas 10, Georgia Tech 11, North Texas at 12. So that's
Oregon's
your bracket.
the one that if you had any debate in terms of putting them ahead of others, that would be potentially one for me that I would look at moving much higher.
How much higher?
Like I could see to them, them and Texas Tech are similar. Like
Texas Tech just beat the number 7 team in the country senseless.
I would debate that they were the number 7 team in the country.
Okay.
But yes.
Well, but
I
that's
know.
part
I agree.
of it.
But
Like, I mean,
I know. That's the only one for me is Oregon. That's the only one that's kind of worth.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't think it's a debate. I don't think it's a debate with Texas Tech. I don't think that's a debate. Texas Tech should be over them. If you want to debate Notre Dame, we could debate that because Notre Dame has 2 losses. But again, Notre Dame has 2 losses by 4 total points. Oregon has 1 loss by 10. Like, so I that's the thing that's the balance you do in your head, like competitive games. Like the way Notre Dame lost at A&M or at home against A&M, it was an extra point. Like it was so bad. And that kickers, they're still playing kicker roulette. So, all right, let's get off
one
this.
question though. One question. Your list right now. How many of those teams can win the whole thing?
Man, the more that I continue to do this, let's make that a topic. This
I think
week.
that number is getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, but I'll say this. I'm pointing to Indiana and seeing more cracks because of the injuries. And Ohio State later in the season, I'm interested to see too, because they've got to be able to run the football. Like that's what I wanted to see late in that game. So I don't think there's a bulletproof team by any stretch of the imagination. We'll talk about that. Let's make that a topic this week because I think that'll be fun to discuss. All right, so there's some elite games this week, man. Some really, really good games across college football. If you're looking for tickets, like you can find them, and you can find them at one spot. Go to Game Time, man. If this is a place where you can go, you can see all the tickets to all the sporting events, whatever you need. Go to Game Time, to concerts, whatever you're looking for. They don't tack on all these extra fees, which are so stupid to see a price and then all of a sudden the price jumps up like crazy. I think Game Time is really the future of buying tickets. It really is. I love using them. I was on there this morning looking at a certain game close to me, and I was like, okay, the tickets look pretty daggum reasonable. If you're a C-Ball Get Ball listener, I got an even better deal for you. Go to gametime.co. I didn't say .com. I said .co. And so if you use that, if you use the Game Time app, check out my promo code Pollack and you'll get $25 off the purchase. That's gametime.co or the Game Time app, promo code Pollack to get that seat for $20 off. That's a dub. You welcome. That's the first win of the weekend. All right. Eliminator and locks. Let's go ahead and do these now. So if you want to talk about locks for the college football playoff, for me, after what I saw from Florida last week and after looking at their injury report, I'm done. Ole Miss is in. Like, locked. I'll lock them in. Like, Florida quit. They're done. Like, that's technically, are they a lock? No, but I'm ready to lock them in. I'm ready to lock A&M in. I'm ready to lock Ohio State in, and I'm ready to lock Indiana in. Am I wrong?
I don't think so. No. I think well, this week is the teller. If Notre Dame wins this week, I think they become a lock.
Nope. So
they got a big one this week on the.
They got a ranked opponent this week. Absolutely. Yep. So we got 4 teams. So there's 8 spots left. So again, this is how this works, fellas. Cheer against the people you are competing with. Like, look at those guys are going to be in. So don't worry about them. So forget them. Like. Actually, you want A&M to win against Texas to knock them out later on in the season if they do happen to beat Georgia. Like, just cheer accordingly to how you need it to happen. So we've got our locks. How many teams left, Brent, you think can make it? Like, we have our list that's continuing to run. What is it looking like nowadays?
So last week it was at 35, and I included the G5 teams.
Yes.
And we had a couple of those I mentioned
go by the wayside.
San Diego State, like Hawaii said, see you later.
Hold my beer.
Team. Memphis, they're again, no bueno for them. So, but Iowa, Washington, TCU, Missouri, Memphis, and then San Diego State. So now we're down to 29 that I have that can potentially make the college football playoff. The ACC, it doesn't matter because they're weird tiebreakers.
Nobody's going to get eliminated in the ACC until the
final
last week of the season because everybody has a chance to. Obviously, so many people has a
Duke
chance.
Duke is 5-4, can potentially still make the college football playoff, and if they win out and win the ACC.
So you have them on the list.
So they're still on the list. Sadly.
I mean, they're still remember this. That's if they're still alive. There's still a non-zero chance. Then you're in there. All right, eliminated this weekend. You just mentioned two of the teams that are going to be on this list, but I got Washington. It was a nice season. The weather at Wisconsin and Wisconsin's defense did them in because that weather was terrible. Like it was awful. Here's the thing about Washington: you still had a great season, and you still have a chance to play spoiler. So the season's not over. The season is absolutely not over, and they've got the firework capability, and but they're a team that is officially eliminated from the college football playoff.
Same bucket for me. Iowa, like. They can play spoiler. They can play spoiler this week because they go from the muck that they played and the nastiness that they played in at home to L.A. and USC. Weather's going to be a little better, just a little bit better. But yeah, Iowa to me eliminated, but not eliminated from being a spoiler. I like Washington and Iowa, two big potential spoiler teams going down the road. But that's for mine.
Wesley, who you got?
What's up, DP? Hey, did you hear the trumpets from Columbus? As you came down from the mountain with your tablet and finally had Ohio State #1. I mean, my gosh, those people have been blowing you up. They are #1 in my power ratings still of fan bases you are pissing off the most. So maybe they'll give you a little bit of credit this time. I had Louisville. Louisville's out. Their path is done. I think they had to win out. They had to win the ACC probably to make the college football playoff. So sorry. I mean, the Braum show was awesome, but that lost to Cal. And Brent, you want to say his name?
Jaron Keave Sangapulatele.
Yeah, JKS.
Yeah, Sangapulatele, baby. Sangapulatele. And you know, it's one thing, Wesley, to go across the country to Cal and lose. It's another thing entirely to lose to them at home. Like, that was bad. And their defense, you know, Brent was bragging about their defense and those numbers, and they did not hold true. They could not stop KS. We'll go with the initials. All right, so that's Louisville. You know, we put them in a thing and blended them. Even though I think they're on Brent's list of a non-zero chance, they're still very much alive in the ACC, probably somehow, some way. I don't know.
Somehow, some way. Right. That's a good way of describing it. Actually.
Somehow, some way, they're still there. All right, give me some numbers from Week 12, Homie G.
All right, so one you actually asked for. So I went and looked, and we talked about Texas Tech in the red zone and their struggles in the red zone. So they are 42nd in the FBS in terms of scoring percentage. Good job, 89%, right at 89%. Props to them.
What about tutties though?
108th in touchdown percentage at 53.7. And if you look at it in conference games, because their non-conference was not the greatest, that number goes even further down. They are 119th in touchdown percentage in the red zone in conference games, 45.5%. That is their fatal flaw if they go down either one in the conference championship game or two early in the college football playoff. Very much
to quote the great philosopher Reese Davis, that's very ungood. How many teams are there in FBS now?
138, I think.
Okay, so just for context, Texas Tech fans, that's really low, very ungood.
And that's FBS. You know, you're not even talking Power 4.
Yeah,
so you're one of the worst in the Power 4, that's for sure. We've got 4 ranked matchups. Might change depending on how the college football playoff rankings and whether Iowa stays in them or not. But we've got 3 big-time games. And the cool part this week is that those 3 big-time games, noon, 3:30, 7:30, you can watch them straight through. I didn't necessarily go in order. I went more so in order of the highest ranks. So Oklahoma goes to Alabama, who – do you remember – the score of the game last year when Oklahoma played Alabama?
21-7?
24-3. Bama had 234 yards and as many turnovers as points. That was not they got obliterated.
And Oklahoma ran the ball on every play.
Yes, and Jackson that got him transferred to Auburn.
Yeah, if you can beat Alabama, Auburn was like, yes, we'll give you a chance because we can't beat Alabama, so we're gonna pay you a lot of money to come. And now he's their backup quarterback.
So I'm going to go through the whole. We talked about Bama and the run game struggles and things like that. Give some numbers for context there, but then have a question related to that. So first, Oklahoma's fourth in the FBS in terms of defending the run, 82 yards a game. Bama, overall success rate is good because of the passing game. They're explosive in the passing game. But the running game, they're 59th of 68 Power 4 teams in explosive run rate, 59th in yards before contact. So that's more of an offensive line scheme type measure. And then they are last in the Power 4 in success rate in terms of running the ball. Here's the question, though. Do you care? How much do you care?
Well, I don't care that much because, okay, so here's what I'll say. The other is so great. The other is consistently good, and Ty Simpson's feet are good. So he can also run and make some of that happen. So I don't think that I don't think that it's the biggest problem in the world. I think you can live because the quarterback and the receivers are so good because you're not dealing with the weather. Like if you're in the north, the weather's a different game, bro. Like Ohio State, Michigan's going to be miserable. If you watch that football game, passing is optional. It's not a choice. Like you don't get that luxury. Alabama is not going to deal with that near as bad. So because of that, when you get to the SEC championship game, if you do, or to the college football playoffs, the first round, if you're hosting a first round game, which they're looking like they're going to, they're all right. But if you had to go up north, that would be a concern. But in a dome and in decent weather, I'm not worried about it. But give me weather, I'd be worried about it.
What about this week? Do you worry about it this week?
I think that Oklahoma's secondary is going to have to hold up, and their aggressiveness in the back end will cause Alabama problems. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really good game. Like this now, Oklahoma's offense and Mateer and can they get that run game going? So it's kind of weakness on weakness, strength on strength. But yeah, this is I do not look at this game and go Alabama's absolutely guaranteed to win this football game. No, this is definitely going to be. I want to do more research and continue to study and watch these two matchups. But Oklahoma presents all kinds of problems, and they did a year ago to an offense that was explosive. Like I know that offense wasn't a great passing offense, but they could run, and they had Milroe looking like, which one of y'all kicked me in rush hour? Like, was it Jackie or was it Chris? Like, which side was it? So I 100% think this week, getting through this. Now, the defense continues to improve and play better, though. That's what I'll say about Bama. More and more guys making plays. But I'm not out on Bama because of it, but it could be an issue, yes.
Yeah, and you talk about the explosive part being so good. They're just below A&M. We talk about how explosive A&M is. Alabama's just below A&M in terms of explosive pass rate. Just remember, this is all the numbers stuff, Pro Football Focus, PFF.com, promo code GETBALL25.
Get ball!
Over a decade now for them, and I still think it's the best resource that exists in terms of data and fun and all the things that you want to look at. All right, Texas at Georgia. Georgia's playing their 8th straight conference game. The running game, finally explosive. They had doubled the number of explosive runs in that game against Mississippi State than they averaged in the previous 6 games. Texas, though, number
State's
2.
run defense is ungood, too.
Yep.
So
Texas is actually very good against the run. Number 2 in terms of the FBS. Now, I've got some numbers for Arch and Gunner, and then we're going to a couple questions as it relates to that. So the last 5 weeks, since week 7, so since Oklahoma for Arch,
Texas.
We've kind of talked about this and how the ball is coming out much quicker, and a lot of their yards right now are after the catch. Almost 70% of his yards in the last 4 games are after the catch. In terms of passing grade, though, PFF passing grade, the last 5 weeks, Gunner is second, 90.6 passing grade. Arch is 8th, 82.4 passing grade. Here's my 2 questions for this. How much do you think Sark spent time trying to devise just specific things for Georgia given the 2 games last year? And then how much does Texas's recent plan change because of Georgia's lack of pass rush?
No. Georgia's lack of pass rush. So you think you have more time to create. You don't have to be as get the ball out. I think that Arch absolutely, or not Arch. I think Sark had to spend a little extra time this past year on Georgia, like because they pulled their pants down. Like it wasn't pretty a year ago what they did to him defensively, and so I think there's a little bit more focus. But I'm interested. This is not a showdown at QB in the beginning of the season that we were looking at after the first two games and saying this is going to be a really good showdown late in the season. Now, talent-wise on the field, we could have said, but QBs, like both of them, Arch has gotten it together. The system has gotten it together. And if you're not liking what Bobo is doing and Stockton is doing, you don't like football. Like, if you're a Georgia fan and you still have issues, like, you need to call a doctor. Okay, like I'll get you a number or something. Like you've got something wrong with you. The way we've been consistently bragging on Bobo and the way they're making this thing go, and injuries on the offensive line, palooza, just rotating guys in and out. Then you lose your best receiver, and you've had running back issues with guys getting dinged up, and it's been a machine. So it's going to be fun to watch these two guys, and which one of these QBs. Both of their wheels are big, right? Like which one of them can make plays in the running game and extend plays and give extra first downs. And then Georgia at home has been a hard thing to do, minus Alabama. It's been a hard proposition for everybody else. Except
for that one caveat. Yeah. So you're saying that last week Georgia fans' fever was cured because they got more Bobo and less cowbell.
You ain't lying, bro. It's crazy.
No, he's been really good, and actually, it was one of the reasons, like coming into the season, that I thought Georgia, and I'd said this ad nauseum all year, but they wouldn't necessarily be as talented, but they get a lot better quarterback play because of how good their offensive coordinator is, and I think you're seeing that, and you're also seeing some others get in there. But Texas, they're feeling good. They had a bye. Everything's in front of them. Get this.
I think this is the fourth opponent that's had a bye before Georgia. I think literally it's the fourth one. I know Bama did. I think Ole Miss did. Auburn did. Yeah, and Texas did. So literally, like that's a big advantage to have that extra week and to get healthy and to get prepared. And so especially Arch getting dinged, and then making it through a game and getting the rest of the noggin a little bit to get those headaches away.
Speaking of bye week, Pitt had a bye week before they played, now hosting Notre Dame. Big game. And this is another where we're going to look at the running games because obviously we have talked ad nauseum about how good Notre Dame's running backs and running game is. Pitt is number 3 in the FBS in run defense, and they're number 2 in team run defense grade, which to me oftentimes, like the statistics sometimes in terms of yardage can be a little misleading because, hey, if Pitt's you're playing from ahead, team's got to throw the ball on you. Maybe the rushing yards aren't as much. But when you look at grade and then combined with statistics, it shows much sort of more of a clear picture. But also, so they're just behind Texas Tech. And we talked about Texas Tech with pass rush and pressures and things like that. Pitt, though, has 10 guys, 10 players that have at least 10 quarterback pressures. So it's not like Texas Tech where it's mainly 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah,
Texas Tech only has 5. They come from everywhere, and they use a ton of different people who can get after the quarterback. And they got some true freshmen playing well. It's not just Mason Heinschel at QB, Jakarian, maybe Turner at running back.
Mr. Turner,
he's even rushing. Had 127 against Stanford. Noon game. Notre Dame, you win, you're likely in the college football playoff. How you feeling about that part of it?
Well, again, the cool thing if I'm a Notre Dame fan is I look at that grade and I look at West Virginia and I look at how good they are against the run. Well, it's really nice having a passing game this year that's way more developed and way better because they're not great against the pass. He didn't mention the pass. There's a reason he didn't mention the pass, right? Like he mentioned the run grade because that's the strength. And that's the strength of Notre Dame. Obviously, the running backs are their best position on the field. But the problem is for everybody else now playing Notre Dame is their quarterback, who was on the show last week, who just continues to be a problem. Tom Brady just said he was the best quarterback he's seen in college football. That was Tom Brady's quote Like, I would disagree, or I would just say maybe he hasn't watched everybody in college football. Now, CJ Carr is freaking good, and he makes several throws a game that make you say, wow, but there's also some other guys, too, that we can put in this conversation. Mendoza would like a minute after what he just did. Julian's saying what he's done all season long. Marcel Reed obviously has been pretty good. Like, there's a lot of people you could put in that conversation, but that's the good thing to be a Notre Dame fan. Notre Dame last year could not beat you with the pass game. This year they can. I don't think they're as good around them. I don't think they're as good on the offensive line or the defensive line, probably secondary, like in the pass defense like they were. But their offense is more balanced and can beat you in more ways, and they still hit home runs with that run game. So it'll be a good matchup.
Two things. One, CJ Carr, in terms of his passing grade over the last 5 weeks, he's fifth.
Yep.
So he's just behind Gunner and Julian saying. Two, I think you're just disagreeing with Tom Brady because Tom Brady said it, and you would just disagree with Tom Brady no matter what he says.
That's not true.
That's me knowing you and knowing.
Do you agree?
No, I don't agree with Tom.
Okay, thank you.
And then two, if you're Notre Dame, hey, look, West Virginia beat Pitt. You should be able to take care of business.
Yeah.
Last sort of ranked matchup currently, Iowa at USC. I did look ahead at the weather. Sunny, mid-60s in LA.
Sunny and 75.
A little bit different than what the Iowa-Oregon game was just played in. But just a shout-out to Jacoby Lane. Most receptions he had in a game last week against Northwestern.
That's some tough ones,
since
too,
the bowl.
man.
Some catches.
Sick highlight tape-worthy catches. Tell me you got some numbers on USC's run defense. Like something like that, because I'm gonna need that before the game. Because before the picks, because USC's run defense in the middle has not been their strength, like whatsoever.
And guess who runs the ball ad nauseum?
Yeah, I think Iowa. I got a feeling that they're going to be running the football. Just got a feeling they'll be toting some rocks. So
it's going to be a great week of college football, though. Like this is a big time week.
Every week's a great week. We'll have Kenny Dillingham here in a second. We caught up with him. Talk a little ball, but victory formation, we do it every week. Who won the weekend? And to me, it was Nebraska. And there's a lot of ways you could go, but like, here's why I say Nebraska. 7-3, bro. 7-3. Everything going in the right direction. TJ Lateef comes in at quarterback, goes 13 of 15 for 205 and 3 touchdowns. Emmett Johnson goes superstar level with over 100 rush, over 100 receiving. Here's the thing about Nebraska. Nebraska was already a good team. Nebraska's weakness by far on their team was their offensive line. When you add a mobile quarterback that can cure some of those deficiencies, run game goes up, pass game efficiency went up. And how about TJ Lateef in a 4-minute drill against UCLA? They throw the ball several times. Like
a couple RPOs.
They're like, dude, hey, we believe in this guy. And Lateef's a name you might want to know, because that guy played exceptionally well, really good athlete, young cat. You got a young cat in Raiola, so that for Nebraska was a really good thing to see. And 7-3, congrats to Nebraska.
That first part, the 7 part, that's 4 in I mean, yes, they won 7 games a year ago, but that was, I think they won the bowl game, right, to get to 7.
Yeah, to get to 7. Yeah.
So before that, it was 2016, the last time that regular season had a 7.
Matt Rule deserves a raise. Oh wait, he already got one. All right,
he got one. Good job, agents. For me, it is Phil Longo and the Bearcats of Sam Houston State getting the dub against Oregon State, a game that they were gained 474 yards to 157. They were down 17-0. They get a kick return touchdown, and then they block a punt for a touchdown to get their first dub of the season. Amazing. Do you know what state Sam Houston is?
Yeah, Texas.
Okay, just making sure. Huntsville.
I got
Texas.
that one. Hey, how about
third oldest public school in the state of Texas? I was looking at some random fun facts there.
That I did not know. But Longo left Wisconsin. Remember?
Yeah.
That offense wasn't great. It didn't help Wisconsin's offense. All right, Wesley, who you got in victory formation?
I got a quick SEC note on your bye week thing. So the bye week teams before Georgia were Bama, Auburn, Florida, and now Texas. Now, 2 of those, of course, Georgia also had the bye week, Bama and Florida. You know how many Texas teams on their schedule come off a bye week?
I'm going to say 0 just because of that.
Just 2, but it's notable because it was Florida, which they lost to, and Kentucky, who they went to overtime with. So that stuff matters. And,
it does matter.
You know, Kirby has his eye on that, as you saw after the SEC championship game last year and how he called out Greg Sankey on the podium. My winner of the weekend is Who's Your Daddy? Indiana. I mean, big comeback win in Happy Valley there, but there's a video of Cignetti like posing with all the fans, like all the fans that made the trip. If any single one of them asked for a selfie, for a photo with him, he stopped and took the picture. So great win. I know the outside pundits are kind of hating on that win because Penn State's had a terrible year, but wins like that, I mean, you learn a lot about your team. And then one more thing to kind of like put some wind in the sails of Indiana, they are no longer the most losingest team in all of college football. Do you know who took their spot at the bottom of the FBS most losses list, DP?
Most losses.
It happened this weekend.
Golly. I got no clue.
Northwestern now has 716 losses, and Indiana has 715. So I imagine that gap will probably continue to widen this season. So big weekend for Indiana, big win.
Right, before you
and
leave,
also
Wes,
not the biggest loser.
Okay, before you leave, Wes, you gave Cignetti prop. There's a lot of people across the country that are waiting for Indiana to lose because of Cignetti in his mouth. Like, I hear it all the time from fans. I really do. I get it. I understand what they're saying, but I don't get it. It's Indiana. Like, all right, we got Dillingham coming up, and then when are we going to be back this week? I love doing this to you. I absolutely love doing this to you because I never know when our show is coming on. And so when is everybody going to get more of me and Brent on C-Ball Get Ball?
All right, we'll have picks. When are y'all going to do that? I don't know. Tomorrow? Y'all doing that tomorrow?
I love this so much. I love doing. I do this because I hate scheduling. I am the worst person in the world to work with when it comes to scheduling because I'll be like, Wes, yeah, Wednesday night, I'm good. And he's like, hey, where are you? I was like, oh, crap, I'm in Texas. I did that to him last week. I was like, so I was just throwing that back out. So we'll be back for
picks.
We got picks.
CFP reaction tomorrow night.
Yep.
We'll do that live.
And then we promised this week. I screwed you up on that one last week, too.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's fun, though. It's always an adventure. Yeah, we got to mix things up. Like these shows, these matchups, they're new each week, but sometimes the format of the show gets a little repetitive, so it's fun. And then live Saturday night every single week. I mean, y'all have so much fun in the chat with that, so we get excited about it too.
Yep. All right, well, here you go. Appreciate y'all so much for listening. Here's Coach Kenny Dillingham. All right, next on C-Ball Get Ball, we got Coach Kenny Dillingham out at his alma mater at Arizona State. Coach, bye week. Are you one of those stir crazy guys, man? Like what have we done this week? What have we made sure we had to check off the list?
Yeah, so normally I am, but this has just been such a crazy year with guys battling and highs and lows and emotional games that we actually took the staff took a Wednesday off, a Sunday off, about to take another Saturday off. The players were no football all week, only lifting, running until Thursday, then get out of here. I wanted everybody to just take a big breath of fresh air and come back. We got 3 games left and come back with a freaking vengeance to go be hungry to play the game when we get back on Sunday.
Have you ever done that before?
No, I'm one of those guys. I trust my gut. And if my gut says guys need a mental break, I do it. If my gut says me to go hit people for 9 days straight, well, we'll do whatever the NCAA allows. You know what I mean?
Well, that's good. The NCAA, those rules have changed. What about that though, man? With these kids now, and like I've heard from a bunch of coaches that have talked about just like changing the practice schedule because of just the new age and the way that kids view their bodies. And I've even had coaches tell me like that they've had players, agents come to them and be like, hey, listen, like we're getting a little too much work here. Like we need to rest the body. Like obviously that new world and balancing that. How is that as a coach, man?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I think you got to have a great relationship with your players so they trust what you're doing and they know it's for their betterment. I think if you don't have that relationship, you don't have the trust. And, I have a leadership council. We have a leadership council that everything we do, I pretty much clear with them. Hey, guys, we need to tackle live in practice this week. Are you guys for that? This is why. We struggle tackling a game. We're going to do these 9 reps of live. So I am an over communicator to our leaders. And if they don't like something on behalf of the team, then we have a discussion about it. And at the end of the discussion, if they still don't like it, we don't do it. They're the end all be all of what we do in our program because they're the players. They win games, they lose games. That's what they are. They're the key to the program, not me.
So, like with that in that avenue, like things you can't control, obviously. So, did you talk to them when your name starts going out for other jobs? Like, do you address that, or do you just leave that alone? And because obviously it's not part of your daily regimen.
Yeah, if needed. I mean, our guys know what I'm about. Our guys know I'm born and raised here. My next door neighbors, my sister, she has 3 kids. My little son, who's 3.5, hangs out with his cousins every single day. I just left dinner with my parents, who are 3 doors down from me. Our players know the dynamic in the situation I have here is special. I've recruited all these guys here. They know the situation. So some things are better left unsaid.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that means more to you. I remember hearing you said something, coach, and I remember I bookmarked it, and I was like, I'm stealing that when I speak. But you said like I think it was. I'm gonna try to summarize it as much as I can. But like, it's not your job for someone to promote you. Like right, like you were when you were working your way up. Like whatever it looked like, whatever it took. When you didn't get the job at Arizona State that you were talking about getting, and then all of a sudden you're a GA again and you're knocked back down. Like what starting your career at that level and learning to grind, like how does that, is that why you had so much success at such a young age and you're a head coach at your alma mater?
Yeah, I think I hate excuses. I know everybody says they hate excuses, but like I truly think everything is my fault. Like everything that goes wrong in the program is my fault. When I was a GA, if anything was wrong with any of the cut ups or if anybody made a mistake, like I took such extreme ownership in everything that I don't know. I think it's just everything is my fault. Like I don't know how to explain it. And I think if you can convince an organization that we're all in this together and everything that happens falls on every single individual, starting with me, then I think everybody's gonna like look internally, not externally when things fail. So I think like one of the things that helped me was I never said, oh, that was this person's job. That's why the 4 verticals was tagged curl flat. I said, that's my fault. I got to get that fixed. Right? That coffee sucks. I'm not going to say that person made the coffee. I'll be like, that's my fault. I'm going to go make a new pot of coffee. All right. Do you want 2 sugars or 1? Like, I always just tried to fix problems, I would say, and never tried to have excuses. I just never wanted to have excuses. At the end of the day, everything falls on me. If it's even around me, if I can touch it, it's my fault. And I want to make sure it's as good as possible. That's been my mindset.
Your wife has to love you, bro.
Other than in the house. All right, she makes my life outside the football field. I literally don't know if I'd have lights on if I did not have my wife. She makes everything go. When I leave the building, she's the one who runs the show.
Okay, so but you take ownership, right? It's always your fault, right?
100%.
That's a good lesson for a spouse, regardless. Like if you learn to take ownership in the household and lead your wife like that, it'll always turn out for the best. What did last year? What did you learn about your program last year? What did you learn about the guys? Like, what did you learn about that you took from last year that you said the reason we were successful and what we need to do moving forward? Obviously, having Cam Scatterby would be great again. Like, you saw the dude in the NFL absolutely crushing it, doing it great, a tone setter. But like, as a coach, to get back to that, for your squad to get back to that point again, what needs to happen at Arizona State?
I mean, passionate people are not replaceable. And if you don't love the game, you better find enough people on your team that are going to play this game with so much passion that it's infectious to other people. And if you want toughness, you have to recruit it. If you want somebody that's going to set the tone and hit the crap out of somebody spinning down as a weak side safety, like that is a mindset. That is hard to coach. That is an absolute, you're either about it or you're not. And I think what I learned from last year, this year, is that passion that Cam had, that passion that, Shamari had, it's really hard to replace. And you've got to try to find those guys to replace that passion and lead. And I'm always going to search for that passion. Like, I'm a passionate dude and I want to coach passionate people. I want to coach people that I say, hey, come over here. Like, calm down, not let's go. I want to calm people down, not raise people, not like motivate people. I want to be able to say, calm down, bud.
Way easier to turn them down than to turn them up, right? Like, and it's
Exactly right.
and it's contagious for your whole team. Like that's
Exactly right.
and that's what like I love on the high school team, man. Like we have some people that feel certain kind of way about fights. I'm like, no. Fights are great at practice. Like I want you to care enough to fight. I want you to get pissed off enough that you just got your ace whipped. Like that you need to fight. Like it's not as easy to find. When you look across the country, coach, like right now with the rankings that just came out, like anything to you that stuck out, anything that you thought you disagreed with or you liked or vice versa?
I mean, Utah is really good. I know that. We played them and they whooped our butt. That's a really, really good football team. Playing them at night is not fun at their place, but that's a really good team with a really good coach. And so that's a team that I saw in the rankings, and I said, okay, that's a team that's going to continue to give people problems, I think.
Yeah. When you see when you see like what's your philosophy moving forward? Like you got a team like Texas that goes out of conference and plays Ohio State. They lose. They could have scheduled someone else. Like what's your competition level about like scheduling out of conference and stuff like that with your squad and what you'll look to do?
Yeah, well, I mean, next year we go to A&M as our non-conference schedule. Which,
oh boy,
yeah, oh boy, indeed, they're a good football team. That's a tough place to play. We actually go straight from A&M, straight to play a game in London versus Kansas. So the beginning half of our schedule is unique and difficult next year. So at the end of the day, I think we're the only team right now in college football whose every team we faced has had a winning record. I believe somebody told me that stat the other day. We haven't faced a team with a losing record yet, and I think that's calloused us a little bit. And
wow.
It's rough to get through at times, especially when you have injuries or whatever those things are. But I think it's made us a better football team.
Hey, are you on an iPad right now?
I'm on a phone now.
Okay, so I want to pan to your left. What's behind you? I want to see those helmets.
Oh,
What you got in your man cave?
Just everywhere. It's just every place I've worked.
All right, let's show us. Walk us through it and talk us through it for the people that aren't listening or watching.
Obviously, Arizona State, original as a GA. Then I went to Memphis, GA, quarterbacks, tight ends, OC. Then I went over here to Auburn, OC. Then I went back, Florida State. Then up to Oregon, and then back to where it all started. And then that's a football from the Peach Bowl game. I mean, from the Big 12 title game last year. So
awesome.
and then that's our saying behind us. Have more fun working harder than anybody in the country is our one of our mottos. We have 3 team rules. Be a good person, make good decisions, and have more fun working harder than anybody in the country. If you know those 3 rules, you can play for us.
See, I love that because one of the things that I've noticed across college football that it's kind of frustrating to see, like you don't see as much fun. Like, why can't we have fun at the same time? Like, I don't know. How do you toe the line between I got to make them tough, I got to work them? How do y'all institute fun at Arizona State?
Isn't winning fun? Isn't competing fun?
Awesome.
Like, losing sucks. So how do you have fun? You create competition. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're doing. If we do a drill and then we do a drill where we're competing versus one another and there's a winner and there's a loser, it's more fun. So I think everything we do is about competition and everything we do is about, you can either get through something or compete in something. And I'd much rather compete in something than just get through something. So it's just about competition, I think, starts how do you have fun, but also build, toughness and physicality.
Yeah, I think finding those guys too around you because there's so many guys that, coaches that obviously can take the joy away too. As a player, I remember those guys. They made it miserable. It sucked. Like they didn't want to be there. Like that's also your job to bring that juice every day and to help hold everybody accountable.
Yeah, they've got to see that I'm enjoying it as much as they're enjoying it. Like we have a basketball hoop in our team meeting room, and we shoot hoops before every day.
Who's got the best J?
Oh, probably Sam or Jordan Tyson. Jordan's brother plays in the NBA. He plays for the Cavaliers, first round pick last year. So he's got a little. He's definitely got a jump shot.
All right, all those helmets you mentioned behind you. What did you learn at Florida State?
I learned that it takes patience. We took over a place that, where it was at was not a high point in the program. And it took patience to kind of get that thing up. That year 3 was an unbelievable season there for them. So I thought it was, and they really flipped the program at that point. So I thought the patience of getting that done was what I learned there.
Okay.
That was probably my number one takeaway is patience and trust the process to where you want to be in 3 years. Like when you take something over, it usually takes 3 years. And in that era, it was pre-aggressive portal. So it was a little bit different. The game's changed drastically since then. It used to be a 3-year process. It's a little bit different now with the portal and how you acquire players.
Yeah, Signetti's screwing all y'all now. Now it's a 1-year process.
Yeah, he's definitely setting a high standard.
He's setting a high standard. What do you think about his personality and like his brashness? Do you like that?
Yeah, I like people who are themselves. I think that's him. I don't care if you're the nicest dude in the world or the not nicest dude in the world, whatever word you pick for that, right?
Biggest prick. There you go.
Yeah, as long as you are you. I cannot stand fake. I can hang out with the biggest prick in the world all day long. I'm cool. I know who you are. I'm waiting for the comment you're about to make towards me that I'm like, okay, this guy's going on again. Or I could hang out with the nicest dude in the world. Like, I just want to hang out with somebody who I know what I'm going to get, and I know that that's who they are. I'm cool with that.
That's cool. All right, couple more and I'll get you out of here. Who do you look around college football, man? Like, and you say, I like the way because you're an offensive guy, like you're an offensive guru. Who do you look at right now and you're like, man, what they do is really cool. What they do is awesome. Obviously, I heard your quote recently about like taking stuff like from people like that. Didn't you say like that's welcome to football? That's how you should do it. You should see something and go, yeah, give it to me.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I could give you one person. I think everybody's got, what they do best and kind of their niche, I would say. So like when I'm looking at GT counter or split back offense, it's like, okay, Lincoln Riley, that's what he's been doing better than most people for a long time. Okay, now I'm looking like, okay, slow mesh RPO. Well, Wake Forest did slow mesh RPO better than anybody in the country, Coach Jura, and he's now at Iowa. All right.
Yep.
Well, maybe they're doing that there. Let me study that. Look at their offensive resurgence this year. Okay, well, it worked at Wake Forest. It's worked there. Slow mesh RPO. Then pro style. Who's doing a good job? Jed's doing a good job at Washington in a pro style scheme, under center, some bootleg stuff, big play action. So, like, to me, it's all about studying who does what best and then picking and choosing which stuff that they do that can mesh into what you do.
And what your players obviously can handle and what can do.
Exactly.
Now, defensively, the same way. Do you look at people that are a big pain in the ace and what they do, and what about some guys across the country defensively?
Yeah, obviously, I think Coach Lanning at Oregon, that's one of my good friends in this thing. I think he does as good of a job as anybody on the defensive side of the ball. I look at right up the road the Arizona Cardinals for us. They're a little bit hybridy. They're 3 down, 4 down, 3 high safeties.
Yep.
Their nickel becomes their field safety at times. So they're kind of mixing that Iowa State 3-3-5 with 4 down and 5-man fronts, from the NFL. So I would say the Cardinals, Oregon, I'm always infatuated by the 3 high safety stuff just because I think those fits can enter the 4 down world, and they haven't fully done that yet. So those would be probably the three that I got a lot of respect for how they all do it.
Yeah. Yeah, Jim Knowles obviously has been doing that for a long time and been successful with it. People don't realize this, and I'll get you out of here on this, but people don't realize, and I want a Dan Lanning story because he was here at Georgia, so he lived right the road. My wife trained his wife Sophia. Like people. I saw so many people attacking Dan. Like that's not really him. I'm like, dude's a psycho. Like he's an absolute psycho. Like, and I say that affectionately. I don't say that in a demeaning way. Like, but do you have a Dan Lanning competitive story, like frothing at the mouth story? Because I love that dude, man.
I mean, we would go back and forth in his office all the time on the whiteboard. I mean, when we were both in Memphis together, and we just go back and forth. But the one thing I remember, it was Memphis. It was like the coldest day. We had tour of duty is what we called it. It was like 5:30 mat drills in the morning. And it's January in Memphis. I didn't know. I'm from Arizona. I'm like, what is this 30 degrees? This is not normal, okay? So it was like 25 degrees out. And at 5:30 a.m., this dude shows up. I don't know if he may have not had a shirt on or in a cutoff shirt with like the shortest shorts, proving a point of like, let's go. Like absolute. Everybody else is all bundled up. Every coach, every player. He's out there. It's like a crazy man motivating people 5:30 in January to go sprint 50 yards, roll 5 times, get up and do it again. And that's Dan though. He is who he is. Like that's kind of what I said earlier. He's one of my best friends because every time I talk to Dan, I know I'm going to talk to Dan. I'm not talking to this political mastermind who was going to say what I want him to say or what somebody else wants him to say. You're going to talk to Dan Lanning, the person Dan Lanning. Everybody knows Dan Lanning, whether you know him or not, because you see him.
Yep, absolute psycho. Like I said, I mean that's a compliment. Well, Coach, I really think, man, you're one of those guys that continue to keep it real, keep being you, man. It's fun to watch, keep the fun in the game because a lot of that's going bye, and we have to say thank you because the first one we got, brother. This was the first one on the pod we got, so. We had to represent for sure, man. It's a good looking lid. It had the Tillman on the back too, man.
It is. Hey, with NIL, we may be able to bring you back. You know?
Yeah. Hey, NIL would have been beautiful. It would have been it would have been fantastic. Some of the numbers are really fun to be a part of that. But that's all right. Hey, we still loved it. We still had pride in it and had fun back in the day, and we didn't know what we were missing, did we?
No, part of it. So, well, I appreciate it. Y'all have a great night.
You too, bud. Thank you.
Thank you.